Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 1 p.m. here in Crystal Lake, Illinois. It is time for another live stream. Today is Thursday, March 16th, 2023. Sorry, I'm running a little bit late, guys. I had to run to the kids' school at the last minute. The baby wasn't feeling good, so I brought her home. She's sitting on the couch. She's got some iPad time. She's got a blanket. And my wife's here at home, too. So, like, she's doing all right, but I had to just leave kind of at the last minute, and that's why I'm running a little bit late. Hopefully all you guys are doing well. Everyone listening in on the live stream. Hopefully you're having a good day. Hopefully you're having a good run right now. I went out for a run today and it was really nice. It was a really nice run. I felt much better than I thought I would. So that's always a plus. And I wish that for you guys too. And everyone listening and watching this on YouTube later, but not live, welcome to you guys as well. Hopefully all your kids are doing okay. There's strep throat, like an outbreak going on at the school now. So everyone's worried about that. Hopefully you don't have any of that happening and it's just a nice and relaxing evening. Well, today, before we get to everyone in the chat, I'm going to say hi to you guys just generally. But before we get to everyone, I want to bring in today's guest. It's happy hour. It's Thursday. So I thought, we got to bring in friends at least once a week. So that way I'm not totally by myself here in the basement. So this week, we're bringing in Susie for My Run Things. I've been watching her channel for a while now. I think we've been subscribed to each other for like years, literally. So it's good to see her. I don't know that we've ever met in person. Susie can maybe fill us in on that. But it's nice to be able to talk to her. So here she is, Susie from I Run Things. Welcome.
Hi. Yo, what's going on? You say a lot better than I do.
Well, I've had a lot of practice with it. There was a time like when I first started getting like recognized, like running along the lakefront in Chicago, people would say like, yo, what's going on to me as they like would see me running by. And I just wasn't used to like saying it ever. And so because I started saying it in the videos lately, but like in the beginning, I didn't really ever say it in the videos. It was just at the end of the videos. And, people would just like kind of wave at me and I would just be like, hi, or what's up? I'm like, wait, no, I have to say yo back. So it took some training. So
And it's always, I don't know if this happened to you, but the first time that someone recognized me on a race, it's a little bit like a shock. Like there's some, like it's two voices, one on each side of your head saying, that can't be happening. It's like, no, they just said my name. Like, that's you. You don't, like, don't be rude. You have to say something. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just saw you did a race. You did the Dopey Challenge, right?
I did Goofy. I don't want to. Dopey is all four. I did two. Okay. I did the half and the full. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's the hardest too. So, I mean, so you did the Goofy Challenge and someone recognized you while you were out there running, right?
Yes. Well, yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry, I don't know why that's doing that. Sorry about that. My phone, I don't know. It never rings on the Mac.
It's always when you're live streaming.
Yeah. Someone recognized you while you were out there running, and I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is cool. I mean, I appreciate it because sometimes people look at you, but they don't say anything.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I don't bite. So if someone recognizes me on a race, they should say something. Yeah, they should say hello.
Well, we got Diogo Tanaka in the chat who's saying, welcome, Susie. And Otto Vivi says he's ready to run things. Awesome.
I was born ready to run things. So you know what happened? This weekend, I'm running the New York City half.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I just got a bib like literally yesterday. I got a text. It fell on my lap. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I think a lot of people are going to be running that race.
Have you run it?
Like? No, I haven't.
You should put that on your calendar because it's the only race that goes through Times Square. So I'm excited. I got a new camera, not on purpose. I just got a new camera.
Yeah. So you got the 360?
I did. I got the X3.
Yeah.
So it's going to be the maiden voyage.
Be careful. They're easy to lose. They're easy to lose. I lost mine in Japan.
I saw that. I thought it was hilarious the way that you explain how you lose things on your trips.
What's funny is my wife didn't know that I lost some of those things. And so I was like showing her, I'm like, Harry, I made this video. I think it's really good. Let's watch it together. And a lot of times I don't make her watch the videos. Sometimes she watches them on her own, but like I don't make her watch it. And then she's watching that part and she goes, you lost all of that stuff? And I was like, yeah, I did.
I thought it was so funny. And I laughed. That's like, like you said in the beginning, we've been following each other for a while. I
Mhm.
think I subscribed to your channel when you had like 1,200 subscribers, I think.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
long time ago.
long time ago. Yeah, when you were training for your first Chicago marathon, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
So, but from all the videos you've made, I and this is a consistent theme. I mean, people say
Mhm.
this all the time. Um, your cinematography has improved so much. It's just amazing. So your last videos, I love the one you did in Germany
Mhm.
with Adidas, and I love the one you did from Tokyo, like the before running the marathon when you
Mhm.
went to get the bib and you were eating. And
Yeah.
yeah, that was a really good video. I mean, there's documentaries, travel documentaries out there that are not as good as that one video. So
Thanks. Well, I
yeah.
mean, I think that, like, I mean, I'm not good at accepting compliments, but I will say that, like, Tokyo is kind of a hard place to make a bad video, though.
I
It's a beautiful
so I agree with that, but your video was really good. I went actually on my honeymoon to
Mhm.
Japan.
Okay.
We were there 2 weeks.
Mhm.
We planned the whole trip by
Mhm.
ourselves. We don't
Okay.
speak Japanese.
Yeah, yeah.
So I could relate to how you're saying, some things are in English, but then you get to the train station and everything is in Japanese. So you have to ask someone for directions. People are so nice, though, in Japan. That's
Yeah,
something that not necessarily shocked me, but it was like a nice added bonus. How people really like if you're lost,
yeah. It's
people help, and we
it's
were
a
lost a lot. So
yeah, it's a very different city than New York, because you think about, like, if you got lost in New York and asked, like, a New Yorker for help, they'd be like, "Get out of my
I
face."
am late
Yeah,
for
yeah.
yeah. They're always running late for something.
Yeah,
So
like, I gotta go. I ain't got time for this. There's someone else that can help you. Like it's
yeah,
like it's not that they're not mean, but they're just not that helpful.
because they're
But I feel
busy.
like
Well,
yeah.
Tokyo, I assume people are busy too, but people are nice. Like they generally. We were looking for. I don't remember what we were looking for, but on our map, the
Mhm,
way that we were in this big train station,
mhm,
this was a while back, so I don't remember the name, but we kept going out the escalator the wrong
mhm.
side, and it had like four sides to it.
Yeah.
So we kept like going under and then crossing and going to the other one. And then finally, inside the train station, there was like a convenience store, and we
Mhm.
asked the guy there, and he was the only guy running the store.
Yeah,
And we said, "Hey, can you tell us how to get here? Which exit is it?"
yeah.
He shut down the store and walked us out.
That's so nice.
And that was like for like, again, us, at least for us, we thought, well, maybe he's going to do something to us, like
Mhm.
rob us. Something weird's happening. This can't be happening. But
Yeah,
no, we were like kind of like timidly following him. He took us
yeah.
outside and then he said, bye, and then went back. So
Amazing,
yeah,
amazing.
we
Here's the
had a
thing
great
though, when
experience.
when I was in Tokyo, it didn't seem like a lot of I mean, every once in a while, I would see someone rushing, 'cause everyone waits at the intersections, they don't jaywalk, and then if there's a big crowd, sometimes you'll see people kinda scurry along in front, so they don't get stuck behind the crowd, but
Yep.
other than that, I almost never saw and no one was in a hurry. I'm like, "How can there be this many people and no one's late?" Like, there's no one rushing anywhere, everyone was just very, like, calmly walking to their destination. It's just, like, anti-New York, like, opposite of New York in so many ways.
I think it's because everything is so measured. Everything they do is so I don't know. I don't know if they ever improvise. That would be a question for them.
Yeah.
But it's like the trains, like we took the Shinkansen, the
Mhm,
bullet
mhm.
train, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
say it's going to stop at the station at 4:17. And it's
Yeah.
like, it can't be 4:17. It's going to be 4:16 or 4:18. How are they going to like time? No, it's 4:17. It's like how it's like everything is so accurate and so specific
Mhm.
that they probably are always on time to well, this is a generalization, but they strike me as people who are always like prompt and never late. They
Yeah.
always you know
Yeah, they're never late, so they're never in a hurry. Uh,
Congratulations on your marathon,
oh,
by the way. I
thank you
don't want to
very much.
forget.
Yeah, thank you. That was I mean, I feel like the running's going well, like,
Oh,
it's not like
I would agree.
it's not like I'm not caring about it, but, like, I'm not as, like, a attached to it in a way, and so it's just kind of liberating, I guess. And so I feel like I've been running a little bit more free. I don't know if that's the right word for it. So it just feels good. Feels good.
I love that you did it too without, because usually when you're before a race,
Mhm,
most runners are like very mindful of what they're eating.
mhm,
And
mhm.
you went to town in Tokyo. You ate all the things,
Yeah,
drank everything. Like the vending machine experience was like,
that
oh
was
my God.
that was fun. I mean, like at the, it occurred to me after like the first like couple days, I was like, oh, they're not gonna just sell beer in these because like kids could then get it. I don't know if there's a drinking age or like how that's regulated in Japan, but I'm like, I'm sure they don't just put beer in the vending machine. So whatever's in there, the worst thing that can happen is like it just doesn't taste great. And then I'm out $1 or $1.50, and that's okay. So I'm like, oh, let's try it. Let's go for
The vending machines, that was shocking to me as well. How many they have, um,
it. They're
and
all
again, you don't know what you're getting. You just put a coin there, and yeah, whatever just pick something. So
yeah.
yeah,
All right, let's see. Let's hit some of the chat. Where was it? I saw something from Eric that was in here. Was it Eric or was it Sean?
I guess
Uh,
I should try to connect to YouTube as well.
Sean says, Susie, best of luck on your BQ mission.
Oh, thank you.
Well,
Thank you
I've
so
been,
much,
yeah, I'm
Sean.
sure he said that he stumbled on Susie's channel one day and it says, I like the chill
Oh, thank
blog
you.
vibe. And you've been talking about, going after that BQ. Now this weekend is a half, so that won't be a BQ. That's not a Boston qualifier, but it's
No,
on the way.
I still have to. So I have a coach,
Hmm.
Paul DeVillo. If you
Yeah.
guys want to check his channel too, let's give him a shout out here. He's awesome. So our goal is to get faster in the half first, and then run the wine glass marathon in
Okay.
October. It's just
Hmm.
October 1st. I need a 3:55.
Okay.
So
All right.
we'll see. But I mean,
Great.
I'm all in. I'm like, I
Nice.
quit alcohol.
Okay. Okay.
I'm
Completely.
eating better. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Eliza says, "Well, yay! Good luck on running the New York Half, Susie."
Thank you. Thanks, Eliza.
Very cool. And then I think we had someone in here. Running Geek Girl says, Susie.
Woo, woo, woo. I'm
I'm
going live on my channel with her tomorrow. So
Okay, cool, cool.
yeah,
Well,
Heather.
I tried to Running Geek Girl. I tried to do your comment justice. I tried to read it like it's written. So that's why there's all that Susie in there.
Heart, heart, heart.
Heart emoji. Um. All right, let's see what else we got here. Kevin Bandy asks a question. I think this is for me. He says, I heard you had stomach issues after the Tokyo Marathon. Have you had martingales before and had no problems with them? For me, I don't know what it was that I had really, but my stomach was just unsettled for hours after the marathon. And I normally don't take 6. I usually bring 5 and eat 6, but it's not the first time I've had 6. I think I had 6 in for Chicago, but just something about that race where just my stomach wasn't right. Have you tried Martin gels before, Susie?
Mm-mm, I
No, you
haven't.
haven't? Okay.
No, I
Martin
am
gels
very
are usually
loyal to Goo, actually,
okay.
which I guess one should be thankful for because they're the cheapest one.
Yeah.
So you save, because Morton they're expensive. I'm sure they're really good, but
Yeah. Well, the goos are also the easiest to find too.
yes, yeah,
So like you're always gonna be able to find some.
yeah, they sell them everywhere.
Mhm. Um, Davin Patterson says it was hard for my wife to eat in Japan. We'd go into restaurants and ask in Japanese if they served anything vegetarian. They tell us she should probably eat somewhere else. Yeah, I didn't even try to be vegetarian. I mean, I was like, I tried to order stuff. I didn't order like meat, but like I was like, everything is any soup probably has some sort of meat broth in it, and then
Or
otherwise
fish.
it's
Yeah.
fish. So I'm like, I don't know, but I'm like, I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm gonna pretend that I don't know.
I'm glad you didn't, because it made up for a really good video.
Yeah,
And I'm sure the experience was, I mean, once you're there, kind of limiting yourself. I mean, I understand people who do, but
yeah.
yeah,
For me, it's not like a religious restriction, and so I feel like I find it easier to be a little bit more flexible.
right.
Let's see. Where are you? Okay. Go Running with Oliver says, just got in here. What is your Instagram or YouTube channel, Susie? Why don't you tell everybody?
So my YouTube channel is I Run Things,
Mhm.
and my Instagram is Real I Run Things, because I Run Things was already taken.
Okay.
I keep trying to see if the person actually
Yeah.
like every few days. Actually, I try and go in to see if I could change it, but no, he
Yeah.
has. Yeah,
Okay. Well, I was
he's active.
wondering,
So
I was like, well, okay, either I Run Things was already taken, or there's another person that's doing I Run Things that is not like maybe not posing as you, but doing very similar content. So I was like, oh, maybe there's some sort of
no, it's
you.
a guy. I Run Things is a guy. Yeah. I mean, you guys can go check him out. He doesn't look anything like, I mean, obviously if it's a guy, but he
Yeah.
doesn't. You guys can go. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I had a similar thing for Twitter, where I'm Kofuzi everywhere except on Twitter. It's Word of Co, because there was already someone that was using the username Kofuzi. It was like I think it was a Japanese musician, not a very good one, but I mean, I'm sure the musician was a very talented musician, but he wasn't very popular, so it wasn't like a huge account. And then I would check every couple of months to see if maybe the account was derelicted or left alone, or maybe if that person might be interested in like changing to something else so that I could have it. And then I kind of forgot about it for a couple of years. And then I went to look at it again, and it was a different account then, and someone else had the Kofuzi. I was like, oh, I missed my chance at some point years ago.
Yeah.
So I don't
So
know.
you know what? I started doing TikTok, and on
Mhm.
TikTok I Run Things.
Okay.
But what happened is that originally I went in and I logged in as I Run Things, and then
Mhm.
I forgot about it, and then I tried registering again, and
Okay.
I was like, "Oh, I Run Things is already taken." And there was a video of me, and it's like, "Oh,
Oh, okay.
I
Never mind.
registered already for this." Now let me remember which email I used. Yeah,
That's
that
funny.
was funny.
Mr. Germson says, I subscribed to Kofuzi and Susie's channel at the same time many years ago. That's awesome.
Mr. Jameson is in Singapore, and it's 2 in the morning in Singapore, or 1, something like that. I don't know
I'm,
if you guys changed
I'm so bad at time zones.
the time. I think because I don't know Asia, but Europe
Yeah.
changes their time zone. A different.
Yeah.
They don't do it now in March. They do it in April. So
I
I
know.
don't
And
know in Asia.
I didn't learn that until like last year. So I was 42 when I learned that daylight savings is not the same day across the world. And I did know that not everyone in the world does it, but I thought that everyone that did it just all did it on the same day. But it's different in different parts of the world. It's so confusing.
I only know because my family's in Spain. So
Mhm.
kind of have to know,
Yeah.
because if I call them, sometimes you might miss. There's only 1 hour up or down,
Mhm. Yeah.
but yeah, I kind of have to know.
All right. We got a question from It's Matt B. What's going on, Matt? He says, Susie, besides Boston, do you have any other bucket list marathons?
Oof. I have many. It's hard to. So I want to do the majors at some
Mhm.
point.
Mhm.
So first, I want to focus on Boston, and once I
Yeah.
qualify for Boston, then the other ones I think will fall into place.
Okay.
Because you can only everybody's getting older, and I don't know how much more
Yeah.
speed I have on my legs.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh,
I want to qualify for Boston first, and then I want to do Chicago, Tokyo, Berlin.
mhm.
I would love to do Valencia, which is in
Mhm.
Spain.
Yeah.
So I would really love to do Valencia. It's hard to get into Valencia. My
Is
brother
it?
ran it last year.
Okay. I mean,
Um,
I've never tried, but like I see it. That's the one that finishes on the blue carpet over the water, right?
yeah, at the there's these like
The beautiful sculptures.
beautiful, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
the Arts and Sciences Complex,
y-
I think it's called.
yeah. I mean, it's such a beautiful spot. And I'm like, oh, I should try. I was trying to think. It's the same time as another marathon, I think. And so that's
It's
why.
the same time as another marathon. I just can't think of which one, but another major marathon too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
great to qualify for anything,
yeah.
because it's fast, close
Mhm.
to the water,
Yeah.
perfect weather, December. I mean, yeah,
Oh,
it's super
yeah, I
nice.
remember why. It's like the same time as I think it's the same time as CIM every
Oh,
year.
that's right. CIM. Yes,
So I
that's
think
right.
that's why it's like, uh,
It's similar weather, but
mhm,
CIM might be, even though it's not extremely hilly,
mhm,
CIM is like Valencia is flat.
yeah,
It's completely flat.
hmm, yeah. See, there we go. I don't know, but I feel like I don't know. I'd really like to finish over that on that blue carpet.
Didn't you go to Valencia for the A6 for
I went to
something with
Malaga.
A6?
It was in Malaga. I
Oh, it was Malaga.
to be
Okay.
honest, I have no idea how close or far that is. I'm just so bad at geography.
Malaga and Valencia, they're on the Mediterranean, but they're not next to
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah,
No,
I didn't think that they were that close, but
no. Malaga is southern. Valencia is more like east. Yeah.
okay. All right. What matters to Matt says, Susie, what was your first marathon?
My first marathon was Marine Corps.
Oh, that's a tough first
Oh,
marathon.
yeah, I don't know why, because I put in for New York City,
Uh-huh.
and obviously I didn't get
Yeah.
in because
Okay.
nobody gets in through the lottery. Well, some people do, but it's such a small. It's like 10% of the people who apply for the
Mhm.
lottery get in. So then I was like, okay, which other one would be a consolation prize?
Mhm.
So then I chose Marine Corps, and I got in. They also have a lottery, but
Okay.
I got into that one. So I wanted to run a major marathon.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it is certainly, I mean, it's like 35,000 people. So
I mean, it's a big race.
yeah.
I haven't done that one yet, but I always hear such good things about it, and then I always hear stories about the uphill finish. Uh,
Yes, it's not an easy marathon. And they have the cutoffs. You have to keep like a 13:40, I think it is,
okay.
for the
Okay.
cutoffs. They have
Mhm.
two cutoffs and they really keep it like so. They it's basically there's this one bridge that they actually shut down the bridge. So you can't get to the other side.
Okay.
You're stuck there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Stevie 76 says he ran the Marine Corps Marathon in 2005. That's a
That's
long time
a while ago. I ran it in 2017.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, do I remember right? I thought one year I saw you were training for Philly. Was that the Philly like half or the Philly marathon or something
So
like that?
I've run Philadelphia twice.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, the first time I had a great well, it's a great race. I love Philadelphia.
Mhm.
It's accessible. They always have spots till
Yeah.
like the very last minute. So if anybody wants to
Okay.
sign,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful. I like Philadelphia a lot. I think it's a friendly city to run. Um,
Is that a hilly course?
it didn't used to be. Now it's as hilly as New York City.
Oh,
So
why did they do that?
because there's a bridge that
Oh,
crosses the I don't know if it's a Delaware or the Schuylkill because it goes through both like it
okay.
goes
Okay.
by both rivers. I think it's the Schuylkill, and the bridge is not stable enough to
Oh,
have
okay.
so many runners go through it. So they actually
Oh,
had to reroute the
oh,
whole
wow.
marathon. They've been doing it for 3 years, I think, already.
Okay.
So yeah, I ran it this year, and it was it was so cold, 15 degrees
Really?
Fahrenheit, and 40 miles per hour winds. It
Oh,
was so miserable. Oh my god.
that one's usually in November, right? Isn't it? Like around the
Yes,
same
it's
time in New York?
Sunday before Thanksgiving. Like it's just
Okay.
that. So if people,
Oh.
a lot of people do it because they're visiting family for
Oh.
Thanksgiving. So they just, they come in and do it that Sunday before
Oh.
Thursday.
That's not a bad
So it's
idea.
convenient. Again, it's
Okay.
a really then you can see the Thanksgiving Day parade, which is quite nice too.
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah, but I mean, the week before Thanksgiving in Philadelphia, you could, I mean, you could get 15 degrees and 40-mile-per-hour winds.
I'm telling you, it was so miserable. It was, oh my God. It was,
Oh, that's
I
too
mean,
funny.
I had a great time, but it was, and there's nothing you can do about the weather. So,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's a first, the security is super tight. You've
Okay.
done New York City. The
Mhm.
security in New York City is very tight too, but in
Yeah.
Philadelphia, it was even tighter than in New York City. Like it's the
Oh,
only race. I've run a lot of races with my selfie stick.
yeah.
The only race where they actually asked me, yeah, they almost made me throw it away. But I
Yeah.
was like,
Okay.
it's just a monopod. It's just too,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then they let me go.
And
Yeah,
they let you go through with that? See,
they did, but the guy was, yeah. They had so many people though that I think they just looked at my face and thought, well, she's,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not a big person, so it's like, what is she gonna do with this thing? I don't know.
I got really nervous about it in Tokyo. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this through. And then I almost didn't get through in New York for it too, because we got there kind of early through security. And like shortly after I went through security, there was like a security boss like wandering like down the different lines. And he starts going, guys, you can't let these selfie sticks in. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to walk a little bit faster because I'm already through. So I went through. So I was like, I got lucky on that one. But I mean, that's the real reason why I'm not running the New York half. Not that I had a bib, but I put my name in for the lottery. But like New York Roadrunner sent me like a very angry email about
Oh,
running the
really?
selfie stick. So I'm like, I'm just going to chill. from
Oh
running
wow.
New
Well, we're not going to tell anybody that
York.
I have a selfie stick.
I won't tell
Mine
anybody.
is I have one that I bought it on Amazon when I first started blogging.
Mhm.
So maybe 4 years ago, and
Yeah.
it was like super cheap, and it's all plastic. So it's not. I mean, if someone steps on it, they're gonna
Yeah.
break it.
Yeah.
So if somebody tripped on it, they
Mhm.
are not gonna trip and fall. They're gonna break my stick. It's
Yeah.
it's plastic.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So that's nice. But yeah, so I'm just like, I'm just gonna chill from New York Roadrunners. But I'll be in New York this year, but I'm just gonna watch. I'm just gonna watch for the sad lions and the
I would love to volunteer for New York City. So
Mm.
maybe this year will be the year.
See, I mean, I feel like I need to volunteer, but then I'm like, but then I won't be able to watch the race from multiple spots, and then I want, I'm being
But
very selfish, you
you
know.
can because they put you. I actually signed up to volunteer 1 year and I got sick and I couldn't make it
Mhm.
happen. But you can volunteer for certain spot, so
Oh,
you could just be there 4 hours at the beginning of the race, and then
mhm.
just the rest of the time you could just
Oh, okay. Hmm.
spectate. Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to look into that. Eliza has a question for you. What are you gonna wear for shoes for
Ooh,
your calf?
my endorphin pros. Yeah,
Endorphin Pro.
that's my shoe. I love them. I think
Number
they're
three,
phenomenal shoes.
number three or number two? Which one? Which
I
version?
have to choose.
Okay.
I bought two shoes.
Oh,
So
okay.
I bought black. And
Mhm.
then I love them so much. I was like, okay, let me go in and buy another one.
Yeah.
And they only had pink left.
Okay.
So I have two pairs. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they changed it quite a bit for number three. So I feel
I've
like if
heard.
you like two, then go buy them up. You know.
I probably should hit Amazon and see what's left before they just sell them all out. My favorite shoe before that, all of my PRs are on the Boston 9, like
Oh,
my marathon PR and my
yeah.
half marathon PR, my 5K PR.
Such a
And
good shoe.
then they put this carbon plate thing on them, and it's like, oh my god, I was so mad because that was my favorite shoe of all time.
They changed it so much. I haven't seen a Boston. What are we on next? 12? Because I didn't look at the Boston 11. So I don't know what the Boston 12 is going to be, but I have a feeling I'm just going to continue to be disappointed in it because
It was such a great shoe.
yeah.
I actually messaged you when you did a review,
Yeah.
and I was like, so now what do I buy if I like the Boston 9? What do I buy? And you recommended the oh god,
What
the
did I
other ones.
No,
The
I'm confused.
It's not the Boston, they're very similar. I
The
bought them,
Adios?
but they're not as nice.
Was it the Adios?
Yes, the Adios. Yeah.
See,
They're they're smaller. They feel tighter on my feet.
yeah, it's a little bit more of an aggressive shoe than the Boston was, but I'm hoping that like the Boston gets, all the shoes are getting bigger. So I'm hoping that the Adios just keeps getting a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger and becomes more like the Boston.
That
That's
would be
my hope,
awesome.
you know.
Because and every so often I go and see if someone's selling, like even in
Okay.
China. I don't know, just send me the Boston 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be a fun video, like trying to hunt down like Boston nines somewhere.
If someone's watching and and you try the Boston 9 in a
Yeah.
size 8.5 women's, you can ship them to my house. If you don't like them, I'll take them from you.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, well, Shannon's here and she says, "We like the Boston 9 here." Yeah, this is a Boston 9 fan club in this live stream.
It was
Uh,
the perfect shoe, and you could use it for everything. I mean,
yeah,
it was
yeah,
so versatile.
Boston 9 is awesome. She's right about that. Um, yeah. Did you go for a run today?
I did. I did a 5K time trial.
Oh, how'd it go?
So it was very cold. I don't know. It's like 60 degrees now, but it was very cold this morning. It was 25.
Okay.
Um, and my legs are tired. I didn't taper for a time trial,
Yeah,
um, so it was okay. I did 26:35.
okay.
So
Nice.
it's only 1 minute. I did 25 something two
Mhm.
years ago on
Okay.
another time trial,
Mhm.
but I did that time trial specifically training for it because it was during COVID. So
Yeah.
actually, it was 3 years ago. Yeah, I trained for it. So and then I tapered. Like I did everything by the book, and
Yeah.
I did 25, 20, I think.
Okay.
So, I
And
mean,
you,
it is what it is.
and your coach has you doing a 5K time trial like 3 days before a half marathon?
Well, this half marathon just fell in my lap. I
Oh,
actually
okay, okay.
texted him and I said, "Hey, how do you feel about me
Yeah. Okay.
running the New York City half?" And he's like, "Isn't that now?" And I'm like, "Yeah, Sunday." Like,
Okay.
and he said, "You can do it, but don't race it because
Okay.
we
Okay.
have my real like race for time. I'm gonna run in Atlantic City. There's a
Oh,
half there. That's yeah.
when is that? That's a spring marathon though, isn't it?
It's April 2nd.
Oh,
I
okay.
ran it last year, and that's still
Okay.
my PR.
Okay.
It's a
Yeah.
lovely course. It's by the water. Go through the boardwalk. It's out and back. So there's only one turn.
Oh, oh, really?
There's no you don't lose a lot of when you're like doing
Yeah.
turns, you have to
Yeah.
cut across and wave through people. It's only like 1,200 runners, so
So
it's the
there's no tangents to hit either.
no tangents.
Oh,
No, yeah.
okay. Does it get windy though? Because is it like right on the beach?
A lot of it is on the beach, like 30%, I would
Oh,
say, or maybe even more is on the beach, and then it goes on another. It just makes a like a slight
okay.
turn, and then it
Okay.
goes on the main street. Like
Oh,
basically, the boardwalk ends, so it
yeah.
ends.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it goes into a street. Yeah,
Oh, interesting. Well, good luck for that. That's like 3 weeks from now, right?
it is two
Oh,
weeks. So
yeah.
now like I'm gonna start tapering next week. So
Okay, so you run the half and then you're in the taper.
yeah, so I'm gonna treat it as a unassisted training run. Yeah,
Okay.
it's awesome. I am super excited, actually.
That
Obviously.
actually worked out really well then.
Yep. What's your next race?
I'll be doing Cherry Blossom 10 miler in
Oh,
DC. That's to be
I
the same
wanted to
day.
do that one too.
April 2nd is when we're
Oh,
doing
so
that.
you have I didn't know it was like I knew it was around this time of the year, but yeah. Isn't it like hard to get into? You have to go through lottery as well?
I think it is, but I'm going with ASICS, so like
Okay.
they're giving me the bib, so I'm very I feel like I'm very lucky to be able to run it 2 years in a row because I feel like it's a harder race to get into. DC is like a crazy running town. Like I think
I
because
know.
it draws so many people from so many places, because it's the nation's capital. That like there are just like these low key like former D1 athletes who are just like, "Ah, I guess I'll hop into this thing," and then they're just gonna bust out like 5:30 miles for 10 miles, and it's just a regular day for them. And so you're like, I feel like I feel like I'm doing okay. I'm a decently speedy guy.
You're more than decent.
Yeah, and then I go there and I'm just like, all these guys are just like taking off, and I'm like, there's like they know that this is a 10 mile, not a 10K, right? And it's crazy. There's just so many fast people in DC.
I know. And it's a great town to run.
Hmm.
So there are a
Yeah,
lot of running clubs, and I mean, yeah. I
yeah,
really like DC.
yeah. I mean, I love running in DC, and so hopefully this time. I mean, I don't know why last year it just felt like I didn't have too much time to explore. So hopefully I'll have a little bit more of that this year, but we'll see. Yeah, I think it was really cold last year. I don't know.
I watched your video.
Mhm.
I am pretty sure it was last. How many times have you run it?
This will be my second time, so I
So
only did
then
it.
I watched your video last
Yeah,
year.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, you're that running guy's here. Hey, what's going on, man? He says Susie's awesome to chat to.
Hi,
We had a laugh.
Chris.
Awesome. And Shannon says, OMG, she has a size 7 men's Boston 2020 colorway.
I
Boston 9,
size. Oh, so actually,
7 men. So what's that? Like a size
that's
8?
probably a little tight. I am an eight, like a true 8.5. It's probably a
Okay.
little tight.
All right. That might be a little bit, but Shannon's trying to give them away. They're slightly too big for her, so you'll have to hit her up if you want.
And
If
the
you want to.
Boston 2020, that would be still the Boston 9,
Yeah,
right?
that's the one. So like that's the one which I feel like it's rare because like they had I feel like there's a warehouse somewhere with a bunch of those that are just sitting in boxes because they didn't run that one, I feel like they didn't sell them that hard. So I just feel I don't know. I feel like I
I don't know. I think people did what I did. Just go in when they were gonna discontinue them and
uh
just
you
yeah,
got 'em
buy
all.
whatever. Yeah.
So there's no secret stash somewhere.
I hope there is. Maybe we should ping each other, Shannon, because
Yeah.
maybe we can measure them and see. Yeah, I think I am at 2 because Adidas runs a little small. I think.
Okay. Mr. Jermson has a question for you. Who are your favorite running YouTubers besides Kofuzi?
Oh, um, Matt. I like Matt. Matt posted before. I like
Yeah,
Matt's
maybe.
channel a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very cool.
But like Matt and I, we joke. He always says he's my, how does it, my YouTuber husband or something. Yeah, yeah. I watch. I like Paul, my coach. He has a
Mhm.
really good channel too. I think he's super informational with his
Yeah,
content.
I think I've been on Paul's channel before. I'm pretty sure he interviewed me a while back.
Oh yes, he did. I
Yeah,
watched that too.
so
Yeah,
that was that was
I
a that was a little while ago now, I feel like.
yeah I realized I actually consume a lot of YouTube, probably too much, because I have watched everything. Like when people say, "Did you see this video?" Yes, I have seen it. Like I've seen everything. I don't sleep.
Yeah.
I'm always watching YouTube.
Yeah, well, so, like, I end up watching a lot of YouTube too, and so it's like YouTube shows me a lot of channels where I'll, like, click on it, I'm like, "Oh, I don't think I've ever seen this person before," and then I'll see that it's, like, a running channel, I'll just hit subscribe, and it'll be, like, 130 subscribers, and so, like, I watch a lot of channels that are, like, 130 subscribers,
Me
right?
too.
And so
And
it's
there are channels out there that it's like, why don't they have more subscribers?
Mhm. And then there's some people but then I don't see a lot of channels that are like 10,000, 20, and 30. I mean, there's a handful, um, and those are the ones where I'm like, I don't know why, like, Ed Bud is not bigger than he is, or, like, FOD Runner, like, they should all be much bigger.
FOD Runner has phenomenal content.
And then,
I
like,
love what he puts out.
Ben is running, I was watching him when he first kinda started, and it was just, like, 3,000 subscribers or something like that. I'm like, "This doesn't make sense." But then now I think he's at, like, 40 now. I'm like, "Okay, that makes a
He
little more sense."
skyrocketed. He actually quit his job.
It's definitely gonna, like, shoot up from here.
Yeah.
And so, like, I don't see a lot of, like, that middle range, but I see a lot of the smaller channels, but I forget that most people don't watch YouTube like that. So I'll be like, "Oh, did you see that one channel of, like, the Bear 100 and all this?" And they'll be like, "No?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah. That was, like, from a guy, I think that's his 3rd video." But it was pretty good, so
Yeah. Do you know who I discovered recently? And I think Mr. Jemson was the one who recommended this. Steven Scallion. He's an Olympian.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
Um,
like his channel a lot.
I so I've been watching Steven Scullion on YouTube for a really long time.
Okay.
He
I'm
he,
new.
like
I'm new to him.
Yeah, he's gotten into this recent thing where I don't know if, like, he's, like, reinvested into it, so he's been making, like, a video, like, every day for, like, the last 2 months or something like that. I don't know if it was, like, a New Year's resolution or what, but, like, he's been hitting it really hard. And, the thing that I love about it is he always will, like, when he transitions from, like, the intro to the video or ends the video, he always stops and smiles, like, really big, you know? I just feel like someone told him, like, "Steven, you're just coming off as a little bit grumpy," and he says, "Okay."
Yeah, he's a funny guy. I mean, in his way. I don't think he intends. He doesn't pretend to like to be a comedian, but
Yeah,
he's funny. He's a funny guy. Yeah.
yeah,
When he explains things, he's always like, he's giving advice and he's like, but don't do this. Like, I'm not telling you to do this, blah, blah, blah. Like, do this though. Yeah,
yeah,
he has good advice. I mean, obviously, he's
it's fun, and,
accomplished.
yeah, I messaged him one day, I'm like, "I'm pretty sure you don't know who I am, but I make a lot of YouTube videos, and I wanna tell you, I feel like you're doing a good job." I'm like, "For whatever that's worth." He's like, "Oh, I know who you are." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." Because
Yeah.
I just presume that professional runners don't watch a lot of YouTube, but I think he
I
does
think
watch a lot of YouTube.
you'd be surprised though. I think, I think you'd be surprised. I think one thing that I have come to realize is a lot of people watch and never post on
Yeah,
a comment or anything. I
yeah,
When I did actually when I was in Disney running the Goofy Challenge,
mhm,
I stopped to use the bathroom.
mhm,
It's the good thing of running in
yeah,
Disney World is that you stop in real bathrooms. So
yeah,
I'm in Magic Kingdom. I'm in the
yeah.
bathroom. I'm washing my hands, and the woman next to me, and she's like, "You're Susie from that
Oh,
channel."
yeah, yeah.
Like, it's such a weird place to meet someone, but it was like, and I'm like, "Who are you?" Like, and she's like, "Oh, I've never posted a comment." So
Yeah, yeah, there's a lot of that too, and, I feel like those people are more inclined to interact with me on Instagram, especially, like, in stories, because when you reply to a story, it's not a public comment, it's a
right,
DM, and so people sometimes are more comfortable with that, so,
yeah,
but
that's true.
I don't always love the DMs. because then I just feel like I mean, it's hard because then it's just like a lot more to reply to sometimes.
And I don't know, at one point, I mean, you obviously have a
Mm,
bazillion more followers than I do on both platforms.
mhm.
But I don't know what point you cross that line in which it's like, okay, I can't handle this, like the traffic. Because I answer everything, like
Yeah,
everything, every single comment. It might take me a day to answer, but I answer everything.
yeah,
And I always think, when do I cross that line in which you're spending so much time answering that I'm not at that point yet, but do you ever
yeah.
like,
Yeah, and it's not a fun line to cross because then you're just like, well, like I like interacting with everybody. That's kind of why I'm one of the big things that keeps me doing it. But then there's just sometimes where I'm like, I gotta do stuff. Like I gotta make more video. I can't just keep, so like a lot of videos, sometimes I just like put the heart on it as a comment for on YouTube, which I like more than on Instagram because then on Instagram I can just like it and then it's hard to tell that I liked it. But on YouTube I can it shows that I liked it. So I kind of like that more, but like it's frustrating that I can't, but I'm like, this is a lot. And so like I just
you get, yeah, and community engagement is, I agree, it's everything. At
yeah,
least if you're on YouTube, that's why you
yeah,
should be doing YouTube, is because you want to engage with people.
yeah,
Otherwise, you're in the wrong business.
yeah, yeah, for sure. For sure. Maddie Mac says he's guilty of sliding into the Kofuzi DMs. I mean, it's okay. Here's one of the tips. Well, I'll give you a tip for when you start getting to be too busy to answer all of the DMs. So there's like primary, like general, and then like the other ones. What's the last category?
Oh,
Requests.
I don't know. I don't have my phone. Oh, it's
Yeah.
here.
So there's requests, and so like usually I have the most in requests for like people that I'm not following or haven't messaged with them before. And my way of sorting through them quickly, because I know I can't get to everybody and I want to get to as many people as I can, but I can't get to everybody, is I scroll up to see if they follow me. So if they don't follow me, then I'm like, oh, I'm not going to read that because I'm just,
Why would anyone, that is always mind blowing to me. Like, why would anyone send you a message
I,
who's
I
not
don't,
following you?
I don't think that they know because I think that algorithms have evolved beyond like followers and stuff. So like the algorithm knows what you're watching and what you like more than you know what you like, And so like I feel like the algorithm's more effective than a subscribe button. So I think they're just showing me or they'll show you to them a bunch of times and they'll just feel like, oh, I must be subscribed and then comment. So like if anyone's out there and
I don't know though. Like on Instagram, you see, like sometimes someone messages me
Mhm.
that says they're following me and I'm not following them. And I'm always like, why am I not following this person? Like, I have interacted with them already. Why am I not
Yeah,
like, I'm going to follow them because,
yeah,
obviously, if you want a relationship with your
yeah,
community, you follow them. So.
yeah. So that's kind of like, that's one way that I kind of distinguish it all.
I
But
get so many like weird requests. I think it's, I don't know. I don't know if guys receive this, but women, we get a lot of weird requests.
yeah, I feel like that's a whole other. Probably don't have any of that. I do think that
It's like, what is this? And it used to happen a lot on YouTube. It doesn't happen anymore.
okay, okay. Well, let's
Like we used to make comments about this. That running guy, actually, he just
yeah,
popped
yeah,
on the
yeah.
comments. He used to get a lot of those. It was a running joke amongst us,
Okay,
like he
interesting,
used to get like 2 or 3 comments in every video of like weird people. It's like, where are these people coming from?
interesting,
Yeah.
interesting. All right, here we got another question. Go Running with Oliver says, Susie, what are the average times on your last set of Yasso 800s? What do you think of Yasso 800s?
Ooh, that's a great question. So don't I haven't done yet like purely Yasso 800s, like
Okay.
a legit
Mhm,
session, like like workout with Yasso 800s in a while.
mhm.
But I am all over the place. 800s is it's a distance that I hate genuinely.
It's a tough distance.
I like the 400s. I
Mhm.
have them nailed down to an art. Like I know exactly. Like I'm running them, and I know how long it's going to take me to finish. Like I know mentally.
Okay.
Like okay, I'm going to do this time. But the 800s, I go anywhere in between like a three. I've done 345,
Mhm.
and then I've done on the same session 420.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Um, yeah, I mean, do you like the workout though? Do you think it's a good predictor?
I don't think it's a good predictor of marathon times. It's just it's a great workout.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but it's like anything else. If you do, I think Yasso says you have to do 10 of them. I mean,
Mm,
if you do 10 800s plus the cool down, warm up, cool down, and you do them consistently, it's a great workout.
That's a big day.
I mean, you're gassed at the end. So, yeah.
Yeah. I only do them. I do them about once, maybe twice a training block. I
Do
do
you
it.
like them? Like,
I
does
do
it predict your time?
I don't. I can't say that I like them. I think of it more as medicine. Like it's good for me, but it ends up being a pretty good predictor for me.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. So maybe I should do them more.
For me, it's been the most accurate predictor of like what my fitness is going to be, and I kind of weigh that the heaviest when I'm thinking about like, all right, where am I going to stand at the beginning of the race? Do I stand with this pace group or that pace group? Where should I like position myself? Because it's okay to say like you don't have a time goal, but you got to stand somewhere at the
Right.
race. You know what I mean? So I'm like, you got to have some sort of idea. And usually the Yasso 800 for me is the most like realistic.
So did you do 259 in your Yassos before Tokyo?
For Tokyo, I was running like 254 on
Okay.
average for the 10 800. So 254. Like some of them would be as high as, I mean, because the route that I picked isn't exactly flat, but it's mostly flat. So some of them would be like 257, 258. Some of them would be like 252. So I'm like, but it averaged out to like 255. So that's why I felt like I was probably in 255 shape. And I was kind of close to that
Good for
256.
you.
So
That's awesome. Well, maybe I should do more then. That's the answer.
yeah. Running Geek Girl says about getting the weird DMs. She says, "Yeah, I used to have to delete a lot of DM requests."
I think it's a factor of being a woman, honestly.
I think that's unfortunately something
It's
that's still
it's
a
just
thing.
it's weird. I mean, it's not upsetting. It's just weird. It's like, why is it happening?
Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but all right. So then what else do you have on the training plan? I mean, like do you do it so you're doing a full 2-week taper after the half marathon this
Yep.
weekend?
Then I do Atlantic City,
Mhm.
April 2nd, and then I'm gonna run for fun the superhero half marathon. It's in
Okay.
Morristown, New Jersey. It's
Oh,
a
okay.
great race. It's a community race, but
Yeah.
it was voted top 10 half marathons in the country for like a few years in a row.
No, I didn't know
So
that.
yeah,
I
people
used
running costumes. I mean, but some people are running full costumes. Like there was this dude. I ran it one year, and there was this dude. Kind of, we were running the same pace, and he was in a full blown Spider-Man costume, and he was so freaking hot. I was sweating, like,
Um,
and I was like, this guy is gonna be like, I don't know, he's gonna disintegrate.
yeah,
Yeah.
there was a lot of costumes in Tokyo, and there's a lot of fast guys in costumes too. There was a guy that looked like, it was a costume, it was like a foam costume that went from like kinda like the shoulders all the way up, and he was just like a giant beer mug
Oh
like
wow.
this, and he was running 3-hour pace, and I was like, "I gotta beat that guy. I can't lose to a beer
And
mug."
you did.
Yeah,
Well, did you? You
I
did, right?
passed him at some point, and I didn't see him pass me again, but I can't say for certain. I think I beat the beer mug.
In Philadelphia, there was a guy, and he runs Philadelphia, I think, every time he can. He must be local,
Mhm.
juggling. He's just running, juggling. I mean, he's not running super fast,
Yeah.
but yeah, he's juggling 4 balls up in the air.
Yeah, there was a guy that was trying to set a record in Tokyo for, like, I think running with a pineapple on his head or something like
Oh,
that.
the pineapple guy was in Philadelphia too.
Yeah,
He
I
was in,
think I've seen him before. I don't think I've ever run by him before, but I've seen, like, pictures of him doing that, but I'm like, I didn't know. Can you imagine, like, we make videos on the internet, and we get to go to all these races, and this guy is like, "Well, I run with a pineapple on my head, and I get to go to all these races." I mean, that's like, what a time to be alive.
I know. In my mind is like, I would like to ask, what prompted you to do it the first time?
Yeah, how
Like
does he
now
know
I understand.
like, how does
What
he know
makes it.
how do you know you're good at that? You know what I
It's
mean?
like, I'm just gonna run with a pineapple in my head. Like, I don't know. There's a guy that runs in an Aztec costume. He did New York City. He did Atlantic City. I ran the Atlantic City Marathon in October, and he
Okay.
was there too. He's
All right.
he's local. He must live
Yeah.
around here.
Martin Pexier says he saw the pineapple guy in New York City.
Yeah. And he's also kind of, I don't know if he shaves his head
Oh,
or if
okay.
he's bald,
Oh,
but
yeah, yeah.
I'm always like, does he get like that? Can't be too comfortable. Like,
I
because if
don't
you have padding, I
Yeah,
could
he
understand,
he
but
might just have, like he's like can you imagine if that guy's like at some point, someone put, like, a pineapple on his head, and he's like, "This feels right." Can you just imagine, like, I always thought I had a misshaped head, and then I put a pineapple on it, and I knew what I was made to do? Like, do you think that's
I just pictured him sleeping with the pineapple, taking a shower with the pineapple.
um,
Maybe he does. I mean,
yeah,
at some point you have to get used to, having it on your
yes.
head. So,
Eric said that there's a dude at the Leadville 100 last August that ran in a full Hulk Hogan
oh my
outfit
God.
and finished in style. He was a strong runner. I don't know if that's a
That's
climb.
gotta be one of those, like, I don't know. Like, I'm from Spain, so obviously very Catholic country, many
Mhm.
centuries. So, but in Italy, Spain, Portugal, people actually promise whatever. They go to church and say, "If you save the life of what blah blah blah, I'll do this." So
Oh,
I always, when I see people doing this, it's always like, did they promise that they were gonna do this and now they have to?
It's
I
like,
don't
"Dear
know.
Lord, help me to do well on this test, and if you do, I will 12 years from now run the Leadville 100 as a Hulk Hogan."
I don't know. It's just like, what made you think of that? Like, right?
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Steve says, he beat a banana last Saturday.
Which one did you run, Steve?
Yeah, Steve, what did you run?
There's
Um,
someone I know who tried doing, not, we're not super friends, but it's like an
mhm,
acquaintance.
mhm,
She tried getting on the Guinness World Record
okay.
wearing a banana costume, and something happened. She was not included. She beat the record, but there was a technicality and she didn't get in,
Oh,
like mentioned.
what was there a costume? Was a wardrobe malfunction?
There was someone else who, like, it had to be within certain specifics. So,
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So
Well, I mean,
something she did was wrong with the
yeah,
banana costume.
a lot of times, like, it's a documentation problem or a lot of times you have to have someone from Guinness there as, like, an observer for some of these records, I'm not sure.
I don't know, but she didn't. I mean, she did it, but she
Mm.
didn't. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Steve said he just got beat by a banana
at
in his
his local hat.
let's end with this question. What's the funniest costume that you've been beat in by a race? I have a good one.
That I have seen.
No,
Oh, I saw.
someone that beat you in a race in a costume. What's
Oh, who beat
the
me?
funniest thing?
Once I'm crossing the finish line, I can't say that I'm paying too much attention.
Okay.
Definitely the Spider-Man guy. I thought,
Spider-Man,
like,
yeah.
yeah, he beat me.
My first marathon was in 2010 at the Baltimore Running Festival, and I got beat by a guy dressed up as a Dunkin' Donuts coffee.
Oh my
It was
god.
like a big foam costume. He was a giant coffee, and he like whizzed right by me and like just destroyed me. He like dropped me at mile 9. It was
Oh
embarrassing.
wow. I ran a 5K when I started running. I ran a 5K in which thought I was giving it, and I was giving it my all. And
Yeah.
then I hear someone breathing super heavy behind me. And I'm like, I gotta beat this guy because he's about to have a heart attack. And I'm running, running, running. Last minute, he crosses the finish line
Yeah.
right in front of me.
Mhm.
I went to check the list because it was a local race, so they
Mhm.
just printed out the
Yeah.
people, and the guy was 82.
Okay.
Like, I checked the age. Like, how old was this dude? 82, and he beat me.
I
Yeah.
remember, I think it was a 10-mile run or a 10K. I'm not sure which one it was, but I distinctly remember one race. I'm coming down the finishing chute, and all of a sudden, two people are passing me, one on each side, and literally, it was like a 12-year-old boy and like someone of that age too, like a 70 or 80-year-old guy, and they were both. I don't think they were together, but they were both running, and I'm like finishing kick, and they're just like bye, and they just ran by me in the finish.
I have a video. Once I was blogging, I don't know which race I was training for, but I'm on this trail by my house. It's completely flat, and it was super hot, and I'm telling the camera, "Oh, it's so hot. It's so hot. I don't know how you can run with this heat. It's so humid and so hot." And then in the camera angle, you can see this woman pregnant and pushing a stroller, passing me like that. And it's like I have her on camera, and I see her, and I'm like, well, I'm not ever gonna complain again.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah.
Well, Susie, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. Thanks so much for joining us today. The
Thank you
hour
for having
flew
me.
by. I had such a good time talking to you
Me
guys.
too.
Why don't you remind everyone where they can find you in case they want to check out some more of your videos and content.
So my channels, I Run Things, and then I am very active on TikTok and Instagram. On TikTok, I am I Run Things as well, with a U, IRUN Things. And then on Instagram, Real I Run Things,
All right.
REAL.
All right, go and check her out, guys. Thanks again, Susie. And for everyone watching, tomorrow's video is going to be about the Challenger 7 ATR Gore-Tex. And then I'll see you guys for another live stream, 1 p.m. Central Time, same time as today. Hopefully, I'll see you then. Until then, be safe out there, everybody. Bye.
Bye, everybody.